In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are taking a look at a WordPress plugin called Midnay Block Suite, which is going to give you powerful Gutenberg block editor blocks, pre-designed patterns, both designed to supercharge your WordPress experience. Before we poke around the Midnay website here a bit and then look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website and product for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you'd like videos like this created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free lifetime partner membership. And we thank Midnay for being a partner. If you like what you see in this video, go over to our website and grab the exclusive deal. All right. All right. So the website we're looking at today is midnay.com, MIDNAY.com. Once you're there, you can go up under the navigation area and there is a link to get to the page we are on now, which is specific to the, once again, Midnay Block Suite. So what we're going to do is run through all of the key pages on the site, such as features, an about page, look for a change log, pages of that nature that establish trust with customers and communicate, just what's going on with this plugin. All right, so let's go check out the features first. We see a nice handy link up here in the navigation area, so let's go ahead and click on that. And just so we're sure we don't miss any features when we go to look at the actual solution together, I'm just going to read these features off. Lightweight, powerful, and flexible. Easy documentation and support, so you're going to get clear setup guides and responsive support. Gutenberg native, so it's going to work directly with the WordPress block editor. Modular control, enable only the blocks you need, keeping your system clean. Fully responsive, every block adapts beautifully across devices. And then last here on this list is speed optimized. No bloat, just clean code built for performance. Okay, so you're going to get at a glance, post grid layouts, post filters, URL snippets, post highlights, slider, parallax, countdown, button, icon, and post ticker. So again, you've got the blocks, but you've also got the patterns. Okay. So we're going to look at these firsthand. I'm not sure if they actually show the patterns on here. Maybe under screenshots they do. All right, so I think we're going to have to see the plugins once we get in. Sorry, the patterns once we get in and look at the plugins. All right, next up, we're going to look for documentation. I see a nice link up here in the nav, so let's go ahead and go there. All right, so documentation, looks like it takes us actually down to the features. Let's go ahead and click on try this block just to try one of these out. Okay, here we go. So this is where the documentation is. It's actually, okay. I would probably, as a little bit of feedback, say something in here about documentation, not just try this block. Because it's, for a second there, I didn't really think this was documentation, but it looks like once you get in there, it is good documentation. So we've got screenshots with annotation. We've got a nice navigation over here at the left. So it looks to be really good documentation. That's just a little bit of feedback I would have there. All right, what's next? Features, documentation, looking for an about page. While I was scrolling down, I just happened to see, let's go back up. Where was that? Here we go. I did see this view patterns button, so let's go there. A bit of feedback there too. I would probably, under features, maybe have a drop-down menu so people know how to get to the patterns as well. Or just have a patterns top-level navigation item here. Because I almost missed the patterns, okay? All right, so patterns, again, this looks like it takes you to the documentation. So you do have some screenshots of what the patterns might look like. Okay, we'll just look at the patterns together, but that's some feedback. If the Midnay team happens to watch this video, I would probably have a dedicated space just to see what the patterns look like if you're going to do that. Okay, so this looks like it's all kind of commingled. The documentation's commingled with the features, with the demos, it's just all kind of commingled. So a little bit of work to do there, but not much. And I'm not seeing an about page on here, so I'd like to see an about page. A little bit about the team. faces, names, history of the company. It's not a deal breaker if there's no history of the company, if it's a brand new company, things of that nature. Just something to help establish trust. An easy way to do that is faces with names of the team. Could be even one person, doesn't matter. Just help establish that trust, let people know who's behind Midnay. And then last but not least is a change log. You need a change log with not only what's changed and the version number, but also the release date. That helps also establish trust with customers. Alrighty, so that is that. We're already, I think we're in the documentation section already. Okay, we will leave this up. I didn't read anything. I didn't watch a video. I didn't read any documentation prior to hitting record because I feel like this is going to be self-explanatory, but we'll find out here. All right, so on this test site, all I have active is Midnay Block Suite, running WordPress 6.9, the release that just came out yesterday, and the default WordPress block editor, the default WordPress 2025 theme. Okay, so that's what we're running. And I have my license applied. So we're just going to go over here on the left-hand side in the WordPress menu. We're going to go to settings and just kind of take a gander at all of these. Here are all of the options. We went over these already earlier. So these are all your blocks. I'm not really seeing that there's settings in here. You can find these blocks in the Gutenberg editor. Yeah, so I'm not seeing settings in here. So maybe I would rename that to available blocks or something like that. Yeah, not really seeing settings in there. Let's go back over here to the site. Let's click on PostGrid, try this block, which takes you over here. Maybe somehow tie this all in to here. But when I go to settings, I'm kind of thinking I should be able to go in there and configure some settings. And this just doesn't seem like that's what's going on. All right, account is account, contact us is contact us. So it sounds like everything just kind of takes place in the block editor. So let's go over to posts. Let's go ahead and we will work from a new post. We'll just call this Midnay. And if you're not familiar with the WordPress block editor, you can use the slash that leans to the right on your keyboard to invoke the blocks. You can also use this plus icon up here in the top left, the block inserter. We're going to go ahead and just do the slash that leans to the right. And I'm going to type in Midnay, and we're just going to see what comes up there. There we go. So when you start typing in Midnay, you're going to see all of their available blocks. Let's just go ahead and go with PostGrid. So self-explanatory, PostGrid, what a PostGrid is. Over here on the right-hand side, you're going to have some options, hide main menu section, hide main title section. You want to do that. You've got the option here. Here's your title. So see where it says PostGrid right here. So that's what we are hiding if we toggle this on. Heading level, so you can, for SEO reasons, you could, is this an H1? If it's it starts you with an H2, which is good. We obviously don't want to start with an H1 as part of a grid, but you have the options for SEO to assign whatever heading that you need to assign. Here we've got some title font sizes you can play with, some styling, the size, text color, link settings. You can hide the links. So configure all of your link stuff, the link styling. Under general settings, we can select the type of post, the post type that's going to pull from. So we're pulling from our post. You can hide the terms. So we're seeing right here that we're pulling in 2 posts that I already have on the site, a dark mode test post and a buttons post. If we want to hide those terms, we can do that. It's probably... Yeah, users can easily hide the name of the terms which gets selected. Okay, yeah, we don't really have that as part of those 2 posts. That's why that's not appearing. Hide terms, exclude terms. You can choose specific taxonomy. So if I only want to show posts based on a certain taxonomy, we can do that. If I had other post types, then from this drop down, I could select those. So that's really cool. term font size, so you can style the term names, term background colors, padding, border radiuses, all that sort of stuff. If you want to exclude posts, so maybe I want to exclude this buttons post from this grid. Let's do a search for buttons. There we go. Check that box, and now that's hidden that buttons post. Flex settings. How do you want to justify your content? What is the flex direction? Do you want to do flex wrap, align items? What's your gap between them? So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to unhide buttons. So gap, for example, is the spacing between the grid items. So if I do something really big, you'll see those go further apart. And then you can just kind of tinker with all this stuff as far as like aligning the items, justifying. Maybe you want to go all the way at the start, all the way at the end. Okay. You can mess with the column gap. You can mess with the row gap, background color, the whole thing. There we go. Let's see what else. What else? Background image, background just overlay color. So we could put an image on there and a color. So we could choose an image. Let's go with this beach. There we go. We could put an overlay color, maybe a black. You could do like something like put some transparency on there. Totally up to you what you want to do there. All right, let's go back over here. What else do we have left? All kinds of, oh yeah, so here we've got the opacity. So if I go overlay color of black, then you could come down here and then you can mess with the opacity. Okay, just adjust that slider. Super cool. You can adjust the padding, the margins, hide the post heading. I think we already did that. I think it kind of reset what we had there. Nope, I take that back. This is a new section here. So this is overall style settings. Oh, then you've got the post style. So this would be the actual post. Go red there. There we go. This is really, really neat. So you've got the whole background style of the grid, and then you've got the individual post styles. Then you've got individual image settings. So you can hide the featured image if you want. You can set the aspect ratio of the featured image. You can do all sorts of things with the featured image, a hover effect. So that's set to grayscale right there. I don't have any images set on those posts. But if I went over to, say, the buttons post and we dropped a featured image of, let's just go the IWP logo. Let's save our changes. Refresh. There we go. So we've now got that IWP option in there for the featured image. So let's go down there to featured image. Let's take this background color back down. Let's go back, just go to white or like an off gray, light. There we go. All right, so that's the post style. And then, like I said, you can hide the featured image, but you can also come in here and with that featured image showing, you could adjust the height, the width. The hover effect is currently set to grayscale. Let's try just scale and see if this works. Maybe it's probably just going to only do that on the front end. So let's go save. Let's view this post on the front end. There we go. See how that turns to grayscale? Super, super cool stuff. All right, so you can adjust the transition of the hover, all those typical things you can do on hover. Down under actions, so we can reset everything if we kind of need to just reset and start configuring everything over. Maybe things get a little wonky and you need to reset, but you also see that each individual section over here has a reset option. We go up here, reset. So you have all those granular options for reset, so you don't have to reset everything. And then lastly, down here, we can put some additional CSS in there. Additional CSS classes, I should say. That's really cool. So we're not going to go through the same way we did with this this block. We're not going to go through that in depth with all of them. I just wanted to run through one of the blocks in depth. Let's just take a quick peek at what some of these other ones look like out of the box. So we did post grid. This is a post grid layout. So that's going to be a little different. You see the different styling options over here on the right. So there's like layout 1, pre-built layout 2, pre-built layout 3, and so on and so forth. You've got a post ticker. So that is cool. Post filter. Post filter. This block enables users to refine posts by chosen taxonomies and terms, simplifying content discovery. Okay. So it looks kind of similar to the grid, but it's different. URL snippet. This is going to be easily copy page links with a customizable pop-up text and image selection. So you can choose your icon over here. What's the share pop-up title going to be? You can do image setting, images. So adjust the icon height, the icon width. You can do pop-up styles. So let's go ahead and save this and check this out on the front end. There you go. So let's change the icon. We will tinker with this in a little bit. We'll change the icon to this, that icon, and we're just going to say pop-up styles background color, just so you know it's working. We're going to go red. Text color, we're going to go white. And we'll just give this a shot. Share options. Let's go back here, close this. Pop-up title is share this page. Easily copy page links with a customizable pop-up text and yeah, that's an interesting one. So you've got the close, so you can choose your close styles. So right now what it's doing is it's giving you the options like native to the operating system in this case. So it's not like a full share plugin, right? Like a Nova Share, for example, which is also a partner, by the way, if you want to go grab a deal for that. This just looks like it's going to pull from your operating system. I'm not seeing any share options built into this. It's more of just displaying the icon and pulling from your OS. Okay. All right. Let's try the other blocks, and then I'll get you guys out of here. Advanced button. So you have all these pre-built styles. That's cool. All right, so that's the pre-built styles. You can change the button text. You can change where those link to, obviously. Open in a new tab. Icon settings, change that to a cloud. Button background color will go red. Text color will go white just for fun. And you can adjust the font size, the font weight. Let's go bold. Obviously, you want to take into account accessibility. This isn't an accessibility video, but whatever you set for your styling, think about accessibility. Border radius, let's go border width, I should say. Let's go border width of 2. Let's just go 5 just to see that it's working. We're going to go color is black. Border width is 5. Color is black. Border is solid. We go. I don't see the border. So when you hover over it, we've got a color there. Okay. You see the additional CSS classes down here. Okay. I guess that's the only thing I'm not able to get working here is the border width. Border radius is up here. All right, so we can put a border radius. Okay, that's fine. Padding's good. Margin, border settings. I feel like border radius should be moved down here under border settings versus being up there. And I'm also not seeing how to get the border width to work. But you can, it looks like you can choose the measurement. So it's using pixels. You can use all the typical measurements. We can go percentage. But yeah, I don't see that working there. There we go. So maybe it just doesn't work with some of these custom buttons. It works with some of them. There you go. You just have to play with it there. Let's go with that one and check that out on the front end. Okay, very cool. Let's go check out another one of these blocks. Icons, pretty self-explanatory. Choose your icon type, predefined. You can apply a custom image as an icon. Icon libraries is pulling from Dash icons or font awesome. We're just going to choose a paintbrush. There we go. So that changed. We can rotate. We can change the size. Let's go really big so you can see that. We go. We're rotating it. All good. Get into the styling. Icons itself color, the background color, the border color, the radius. The spacing settings, hover effects, maybe icon color and hover. Let's go red. There we go. Oops, you can mess with the transitions. Transition duration, hover border width. Let's go 10. Hover border color. Let's go black. Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Link settings. What's the URL? Is going to open in a new tab. Under actions, we've got the reset all again. All right, let's go find another block. Slider. So I clicked on the block. If you're not familiar with the block editor and you kind of get lost, you can click on this icon up here, which is going to give you the list view. That helps you quickly find what you're looking for. So we want this image slider. And then we just need to come down here and put whatever it is we're going to put into our slider. So we could put like an image. So we put that image in column, that first column there. We can put another image in this column. There we go. And go ahead and save that. Back on the slider block. Looks like there's not a whole lot to configure there. Maybe you do it on the image itself. So you've got the column. Okay, here we go. So here you can adjust these different styles, potentially. It's not really changing anything. Let's go background, red. I think it's going to take place on the actual image, what we're looking to do here. Maybe it just gives you, what does it say here? Let's go. So you've got the slider. Here we go. Okay, so I had to go up a level. Let's get rid of this icon here. Here we go. Slider. Let's go all the way to the top. So now with this block, here we go. Yeah, slider type. Is it a loop? Is it a fade? Is it going to loop? Is it going to fade? Slides per image. We got to do pagination with arrows. Do you want to do autoplay? That sort of thing. So I'm just going to click save here. Let's go to the front end. There we go. So here's our, we only have 2 in there, but you can see how that works. You can also, with your mouse, you can slide it. Now we're going to click right here under slider and then image slider. Okay, I see. So let's just start over. All right, so here we go. So that just gives you the slider block just as they advertise, and you do these settings here. Let's go 3 slides. Let's go 1 slide per page. Let's do fade this time. Okay, so that makes sense. That grades out the slide per page because it's a different approach. All right, so we're going to go with that. And then we're going to drop down in here, and we're just going to click on that plus symbol, and we are going to add an image. We'll add another image and save. Let's go back to the front end. Okay, remember we have the fade now. We've only got those 2, so it's showing. Let's see here. So let's add another one. So I'm just going to duplicate this column. We should be able to actually go up here to the image slider and start hovering and add another. Not really super sure. We can also just duplicate the column, which has the image in there. So I'm just going to duplicate it. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, I wanted that 3 across there. Let's actually go 4. There we go. So we have, then you can specify the number of columns. Maybe we just do, yeah, we'll go ahead and go with the 4 since we have 4, stack on mobile. So we've got 4 columns. Oh, but the image isn't in each column. So we go column, image. All right, let's check this out on the front end. So it's set up as fade, slider type fade, but you can't choose how many per page. Selecting fade will reset slides per page to 1. Okay, if we go back to loop, let's do 1 per page. Still showing all 4. Slides per page 1. I'm going to pull all these images right up underneath the slider and just see what that gives us. Probably. There we go. Let's do that. So loop 1 per page, refresh. Yeah, I thought that would do that. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's probably me. It's probably something I'm doing. So it's probably not Midnay. But if you're watching this Midnay and that's a bug, then now you know. All right, last one, and then I will get you guys out of here. Post highlights. Post highlights. Select and display specific posts with customizable styling options. Okay. It's kind of like we saw with the other blocks. You can choose your headings, which heading level you want, style those up, which post type you want to pull in. We only have posts on this particular site. How many posts per page? You can specifically select individual posts if you want. So we can just go all 3. So we're only doing 1 per page, so that makes sense. Okay, so we're just going to go with all of them. So if I change this to 2, we should see 2 posts. There we go. You see that down there. We're just going to go back to 1. All the same styling options, background colors, background images, overlay, heading font sizes. You can get into the excerpts. How do you want to style those? How many lines do you want those to be? Font size, font weight. You want to show the terms, show the author. So there's our terms showing up. We saw that. You want to show the author. So once you expand just one of these, you see all of the options that you get. There we go. You see the author, you show the date, show the term. So you just you're just building out the data that's being shown within these, what they call post highlights. Here you can adjust the content, what is it, centered, start, again, as we saw before, space between, things of that nature, flex wrap. How do you want to align the items? The gap, again, column gap, row gap, post styling. So you want to put a background on the posts. So that would be down in like the meta area. You can put a background image, an overlay, border colors, border radiuses. Let's do a border radius, do 20. There we go. So we see that appear around the edge of the card. Featured image, hover effects, all similar things that are in all of these blocks, but each block does a different thing. All right. All right. I think that covers it. Let's go back to the Midnay site. And now that we've seen those, I should say that covers the blocks, right? So we come down here, Midnay Suites, here we go. So post grid layouts, post filter, and they give you explanations of what all of this stuff is going to help you do. There's a parallax block, but I didn't see that. There's actually more blocks that I'm not seeing. I wasn't seeing. So let's see if we can find countdown and parallax. So there's countdown. Let's do Midnay again. So it looks like maybe it's not registered. So if you're, again, Midnay, if you're watching this, it looks like that's not registered. Let's go countdown. All these different options, default, flip the clock, vertical, grid, circular. Coming down here, you choose the date. You can do title settings here. So style the title, countdown settings, countdown item styling. So we could put a background color of red for the items. Oh, okay, yeah, let's do the date. Let's do something in the future, just so there we go. That's what was missing. Okay, so that's the background item, the background color of each individual items. You can adjust that, obviously. The value styling, like for the numbers and the dates, we can go huge font size there. That's cool. Change the font weight. The value color, we'll put that at red. You can get into the label styling. Let's just adjust that. Okay, you see that working. So adjust the labels. You can get into the animation settings. You can enable scroll animation and then adjust how that is going to look. The expiry settings, what happens when a countdown ends? You can show a message. You can just hide the counter altogether. If you have it on flip clock settings, then you have all of these different styling options. Let's go vertical, grid, circular, default, flip. All right, let's go to vertical just for fun. Now let's scroll over here on the right. Okay, so that flip clock settings is always there no matter what. Okay. Cool. All right, that is the countdown. Let's get rid of that. And there was one more. Let's go back over here. Parallax. Parallax scrolling. All right. So with that, you're going to come in here, you're going to add some blocks, and then you're going to add whatever it is that you're going to parallax. And you'll style this up, and then you're going to have that parallax scrolling. I'm not seeing any specific settings for this. We can come down here. We should be able to do 100%. I haven't messed much with images, honestly, in the block editor. I mostly use it just for text, long form text mainly. I'm not sure off the top of my head how to stretch that all the way across the screen. Okay, that's besides the point or different. Maybe we can do it here. No, that's just pixels. Can we change the value? Guess we can't. All right, we're getting away from it here, but we'll go full size. Yeah, you cannot change those values. Okay. I think that's it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really seeing any settings for that. Let's go refresh. Yeah, typically you've got to do some other work with Parallax. But yeah, I'm really not sure what to do here. A custom group block that only supports the slider. Oh, are they saying parallax scrolling? A custom group block that only supports the slider. Okay. All right. So we need to come over here and we need to do, let's just start over. We need to do parallax. Within there, we need to add a block. And in that block, we need to add the slider from Midnay. This is the way I am interpreting it. Okay, come in here and we need to add some images. And under that slider, we do one slide per page, save. Yeah, I'm really not sure what we're supposed to see there, but all right, I think that's good. Enhance visual. Let's go ahead. Actually, let's try this. Try this block, parallax. Add the parallax block, click the add button. You can select single group, row, column, or other layout element depending on your design. After, okay, we did that. So it looks like you don't actually need the slider. You can just drop an image in there. Okay, so you add your image, add another single parallax section. Oh, so they want you to duplicate it. Okay, so you come back over here. So let's start over We'll start over one more time. All right, we're gonna go. We'll follow the instructions. Parallax scrolling. Add an image. Then they say, add another single parallax section. You can also duplicate an existing single parallax. Okay, so we're going to duplicate an existing single parallax. There we go. Then update the page to see the parallax animation on the front end. Note, at least 2 single parallax sections are required. Okay, that's what I was missing. Remember I said you typically need to do more for parallax to get it to work. So let's go save, fresh. There we go. Okay. Cool. Now I don't know if there are options. I think maybe that's just, it is what it is. So I don't see anything special styling wise on the parallax scrolling block or on the single parallax block. Obviously, if you're a developer, you could do stuff, custom stuff. Okay, last up here is patterns. So let's start over here. We are going to get out of list view and I'm going to go up here and click on this plus symbol. And we're going to pull up the patterns. If I do a search for Midnay, you're going to, okay. So these are all of their patterns. We won't spend much more time on this. We've already gone pretty long here. So we can just drag, let's just say this one right here. The only thing is I don't know which one is Midnay. This looks like a Midnay one. It's kind of got their branding, that yellow on there. Well, that's okay. That's because it's their block. So I assume because it's their block, it's their pattern as well. All right, so let's go down here to the patterns. So they've got, yeah, here we go. Select patterns, you'll see 5 categories of MBS patterns. Okay, so you're looking for the ones that are MBS. So let's just start over here. When you click on that plus symbol on the top left, that's going to get you all the blocks too. You see how some of these are listed here? They're just not registered with the slash, I call it the slash that leans to the right option. I'm not sure why that is, or maybe I'm just misunderstanding it, but all right, let's go to patterns. And remember, these are the ones, these MBS. All right, let's do an MBS call to action. Cool, let's drop that on the page. There we go. Get rid of that, and then you come in here and style this up as you would any block, right? Choose on the individual elements, connect with us. So this is going to give you that advanced button. Then you can go and tweak this as we already saw before. Change that however you need to, style all of these individual elements as you want. But with patterns, they give you a starting point. They're not always perfect, and it's nothing to do with Midnay necessarily. A lot of the patterns, you're gonna adjust them. There's very seldom are you gonna drop a pattern on a page and it's just gonna be perfectly the way that you want it to be. It's just not the way it is. Let's just try one more here. Let's try the MBS home. Let's do a whole home page. There we go. That is cool. All right, let's go undo. Let's drop in this other one. There we go. That you can drag and drop these anywhere you want them into an existing set of patterns. Super, super powerful stuff. Okay, that's it. I've gone a bit long in this video, but I think we've covered everything. We've covered the features. We know the patterns. We know all of the available settings that are in all of the blocks, which are a lot. So super powerful stuff. Lightweight. Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. Midnay Block Suite. If you like what you see in this video, you're interested in getting into, using blocks, the block editor, Gutenberg, however it is that you call it. If you like what you've seen in this video, give Midnay a shot. Go over to InfluenceWP.com and grab that exclusive deal. As it shows on my screen at the time of this recording, they actually have a Black Friday offer available until December 7th. Okay, so thanks again, Midnay, for being a partner. And I've given you a couple of tips in this video if you happen to watch this video this far in. All right, I'll see you all in the next video.